Hello everybody, and welcome back to Seraphact Collectibles. This is another episode of First Appearance of the Week. This is Wednesday, May 17th, 2023. We'll be giving you all the first appearance in your comic shops today. Now this week we have another live video for you guys. I think we only have 7 titles for you, 4 first appearances, 3 honorable mentions. Definitely some books in there worth picking up for your collection. So let's go ahead and get started for the first appearance of the week ending May 19th, 2023. First up from DC Comics, Batman Superman World's Finest number 15. This features the first cover appearance of Ultramorpho, also the possible introduction of Numazo. Now, like we always say with the DC Comics, it really depends on what DC does with these characters as to how important they're going to be in the future and how important these particular issues are going to be in the future. You know, modern era DC doesn't really have a great track record of introducing new characters. They become really important, really sought after later on. So it really depends on what they do. If they bring these characters into other storylines, other story arcs, across other more heavily collected title series, introduce them into a small screen, big screen project, you know, that gives the characters a little bit more staying power, gets more eyes on the characters going forward, you know, but it really depends on what DC does. So this one here is going to be a little bit more speculative if you choose to pick it up. This Batman Superman World's Finest title series is not one of their stronger title series, and these particular characters, you know, if they just stay in this title series, stay in this story arc, this may go nowhere. So you're definitely specking on DC doing something with these characters that's more important than this one particular issue. So for the cover price, it might be worth picking up the spec on. Grab it if you can. If you can't, though, put it on your B-list. We do think you have some time on this one. Next up from DC Comics, Dawn of DC Primer number 1. This features the first full appearance of the Council of Light. Like we just mentioned, really depends on what DC does with these characters as to how important they're going to be in the future. We really don't have any history about this title series as to how important this is going to be, if it's going to resonate with collectors or readers, so we really don't know the importance of this Council of Light. So once again, this will be speculative if you choose to pick it up. You know, we always say this, it might be worth picking these up for $3 or $4 than to try to chase them down later for a lot more money. But once again, it is speculative. So grab it if you can for your spec bet. If you can't, though, put it on your B-list. Once again, we do think you have some time on this one. Next up from DC Comics, The Vigil number 1. This features the first appearance of Castle, a member of Vigil. Also the first appearance of a villain. Now this is the premiere issue of this new title series as well. This features the first appearance of a few new characters. Once again, we really don't have any historical reference as to how important this particular title series is going to be or the characters introduced into this particular title are going to be. With these new title series, we do think you have a little bit of time on these, but it may be worth picking up for a spec bet. But since you do have a little time, you can wait to see how it performs. So grab it if you can for a spec bet. If not, though, put it on your B-list and take a look at it later on. And finally, for Marvel Comics, Danny Ketch Ghost Rider number 1. This features the first appearance of the Broker, a villain who can boost the powers of Ghost Rider's enemies. This here is the premiere issue of this new Danny Ketch Ghost Rider, and this is the first appearance of a character within this new title series. You know, we always say this with these Marvel title series, it's always worth picking up the first appearance of new characters. You know, Marvel Disney is still churning out a ton of media, whether it's TV shows, streaming series, or feature films, and you really don't know where any of these characters may end up. If they hit the screen, you know, that gets a lot more eyes on these characters. People do race back and try to pick up the first appearance in the comics. So this one here, we do think you should pick up for your collection. Go ahead and grab this one. And now for the honorable mentions. From DC Comics, Superman number 4. This features the debut of Silver Banshee's new powers. Now, the Superman standalone title series is one of DC's more popular title series and one of the more heavily collected. This does feature the debut of some new powers for Silver Banshee. So this one here may be important in the future. It really all depends on what these powers are, how they affect Superman in general. You know, if these are actually Superman killing powers, this may be important going forward, but we really don't know at this point. So this one here is definitely going to be a little bit more speculative if you choose to pick it up. It may be worth doing so for a cover price. Grab it if you can. If you can't, though, put it on your B-list and take a look at it later. Next up from Marvel Comics, Avengers number 1. This features the introduction of the Tribulation Events, catastrophic events unleashed by the Ashen Combine. Now this is another one we do think you should probably pick up and add to your collection. This is the premiere issue of this new Avengers title series, and this features some events that may shape the arc of the Marvel Universe or the Avengers as a whole. So this is one we do think you should probably pick up and add to your collection. It may be a little speculative, but like we always say, with Marvel Comics, it's worth the spec. You don't know where any of these new events, these new characters, these new powers are going to appear. If they appear on the big screen, small screen, that's definitely worth owning in your collection. So go ahead and grab this one here if you can. If you can't, though, put it in your B-list, but keep an eye on it. And finally for Marvel Comics, Venom number 19. This features a new character design for Eddie Brock. The solicitation teases that Brock will reach true enlightenment, which will lead to his most powerful form yet. Now, like we always mention with the Venom franchise, hugely popular, hugely collectible, so anytime there's a first appearance of new characters, new costumes, new powers within this Venom title series, these are definitely worth picking up and adding to your collection. And the fact that this features a new character design for Eddie Brock, and maybe the most powerful Venom yet, this is one you do want to add. Go ahead and grab this one. So there you have the 7 titles we have for you guys this week. Another light week, but definitely some books in there to pick up for your collection. So please feel free to drop some comments in the comment section below. Thumbs up if you like this video. And as always, please remember to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you for joining us here at Sir Fat Collectibles, and we'll see you again next time.